Hello, our mighty Saurus and Sora. It is a nice day to learn about fossils, dinosaurs, and many other interesting prehistoric creatures, isn't it? Well, there is a question that many dinosaur enthusiasts have likely pondered but didn't know where to find the answer. How can you get a new dinosaur species named after you? Or perhaps you think that simply discovering a new dinosaur species will automatically get it named after you, right? That's true, but not entirely. There are several other ways for your name to be immortalized with a dinosaur species. Today, let's explore what those ways are. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, let's explain what it means to have a new dinosaur species named after you. Typically, the scientific name of a dinosaur or any organism is called a binomial nomenclature, representing the genus and species name of that organism. In the case of subspecies, which is a level below species, there will be a trinomial nomenclature, but since dinosaurs are extinct, they are rarely classified to this extent, so we usually stop at binomial nomenclature. Having a dinosaur named after you means that your name can appear in either the genus or species name of the dinosaur. Usually, the genus name is more remembered, as not many people pay attention to the species name. For example, we all know the dinosaur Triceratops, but few know that Triceratops has two species, Triceratops prorsus and Triceratops horridus. However, whether it's the genus or species name, it means that your name will live on with that dinosaur species, unless there are any future adjustments to the classification, such as merging or invalidating the taxa. Here are 8 very possible ways you can become someone who has a dinosaur named after them. The first and simplest way is to discover a new dinosaur yourself. Yes, this is probably the most obvious way. If you are the one who directly finds the dinosaur fossil leading to the identification of a new species that science has never known before, or even if you make a significant contribution to the search, you are likely to have the new dinosaur species named after you, although this doesn't happen 100% of the time. One of the most famous and typical cases of discovering a dinosaur and having it named after oneself is that of the Argentine fossil hunter Ruben Carolini, who passed away not long ago. In 1993, Ruben found the leg bone of a giant carnivorous dinosaur in the wilderness of Villa El Chocón, Neuquén Province, Argentina. This was the first fossil of the dinosaur genus we call Giganotosaurus. After excavating the remaining skeleton, which was 70% complete, and completing the research and description, scientists determined that this was a completely new species and one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs in history. Ruben Carolini was suggested by scientists to have the dinosaur named after him, and thus we have the name Giganotosaurus carolinii. Typically, when naming a dinosaur species after a person, if it's the species name, there are 2 cases. If it's an individual, an I is added at the end. For example, in the case of a group of people from the same family, Orum is added to the family surname, such as Maiasaura peeblesaurum, to honor the members of the Peebles family who contributed to the discovery of this dinosaur species. The second way is to become a dinosaur researcher. Dinosaur fossils are not so abundant that you can find one just by walking down the street, so the probability of you finding a fossil of a completely new dinosaur species is quite low. To be more certain, if you want to have a dinosaur named after you, you might consider becoming a paleontologist specializing in dinosaur research. In fact, I believe this is the most certain way for your name to be immortalized with a dinosaur species. Many paleontologists have had their names attached to the nomenclature of new dinosaur species, thanks to this method. One of the renowned paleontologists whose name has been used to name several dinosaur species is Jack Horner. His surname is associated with 3 dinosaur species, Ankylosaurus horneri, Anasazosaurus horneri, and Daspletosaurus horneri. Additionally, you don't need to be a pure researcher, but can also become a fossil preparator, like Mark Mitchell, who was named after the world's most beautifully preserved dinosaur fossil, Borealopelta markmichelli. The third way is to sponsor dinosaur research projects or museums. If you don't have the ability to sniff out dinosaur fossils, nor do you enjoy research work, but your only talent is being as wealthy as Batman, you can still have a dinosaur named after you, like the American tycoon Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He funded many expeditions to find dinosaur fossils in the United States, and as a result, his name was given to a very famous dinosaur species, Diplodocus carnegie. He also replicated the Dippy dinosaur skeleton and donated it worldwide, making the Dippy dinosaur skeleton the most famous dinosaur skeleton in history. Carnegie even has an entire natural history museum named after him, showcasing many rare dinosaur specimens. Another interesting case is that of Princess Sirindhorn of Thailand. She funded many dinosaur research projects in Thailand, and as a result, her name is associated with both a genus and species of dinosaur, Sirindhorna and Fuiingosaurus sirindhorni. So, if you're wealthy and love dinosaurs, why not sponsor a few $1 million for paleontologists? Who knows, you might be immortalized with a dinosaur. The fourth way is to become a writer or artist creating stories about dinosaurs. If you're not wealthy but have a talent for writing and love dinosaurs, consider following the example of Michael Crichton, the father of the original Jurassic Park novel. In 1990, Michael Crichton released the famous novel Jurassic Park, which featured dinosaurs resurrected through genetic technology, beloved by many readers. His work was later adapted into a film by the talented director Steven Spielberg, becoming a box office hit and winning many Oscars, ushering in a new era for dinosaur films. Although not highly regarded for scientific accuracy, Michael Crichton's works and their adaptations, such as comics and films, have made dinosaurs increasingly popular and loved by the public. Therefore, it is entirely fitting that his name is associated with not one but two dinosaur genera, Crichtonsaurus and Crichtonpelta, two armored dinosaurs from China. Additionally, Crichton's name is also associated with the species name of another dinosaur, Cedurus crichtoni. The fifth way is to direct or act in a dinosaur film. If we've mentioned the author of the original Jurassic Park novel, we can't forget director Steven Spielberg and the cast who contributed to the success of the film adaptation. In 1993, when describing a newly discovered dinosaur species in China, paleontologist Dong Zhiming immediately thought of the Jurassic Park film released that same year. Impressed by the main cast, including Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, Bob Peck, Martin Ferrero, Ariana Richards, and Joseph Mazzello, he decided to take the first letters of their names and combine them to form the name of the new dinosaur species, resulting in Tyrannosaurus nedigoapiferma. It sounds a bit crowded, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Meanwhile, director Steven Spielberg has not yet had a dinosaur named after him, but he has been associated with several pterosaur species, such as Colobrinchus spielbergi and Hangara spielbergi, and currently, the specimens of these two species have been merged into a new species in the genus Merodactylus, also named after director Steven Spielberg, Merodactylus spielbergi. The sixth way is to become a historical figure. Historical figures are individuals who have made great contributions or had a significant impact on a nation, people, or even humanity throughout history. Therefore, honoring them in one way or another is quite common, and naming a dinosaur after them is one such way. This is a difficult task, and naming a dinosaur after a historical figure is not very common, so no one can be sure if they will be remembered and have a dinosaur named after them when they pass away. However, this has happened in reality, so we consider it a possible way. The most famous historical figure to have a dinosaur named after them is probably Genghis Khan. His title was given to a genus of tyrannosaurid dinosaurs in 1995. Unfortunately, it was later determined to be a synonym for Tarbosaurus. In China, we have the dinosaur species Tyanulon confuciusi, with the species name honoring Confucius, the founder of Confucianism, a philosophy that has had a strong influence in East Asian countries. The seventh way is to become a celebrity. If you haven't reached the level of a historical figure like Genghis Khan or Confucius, you can still have a dinosaur named after you if you become a famous person in a certain field, especially if your fans are paleontologists. For example, veteran actor Clint Eastwood. In 2017, European paleontologists named a new giant sauropod dinosaur, measuring up to 27 meters long, after him, Europatitan Eastwoodi. This is because Eastwood starred in the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and part of the film was shot in Salos de los Infantes, where the fossil of Europatitan Eastwoodi was found. Or earlier, in 2001, a dinosaur was named after singer-songwriter Mark Knopfler. That dinosaur is Masiacosaurus knopfleri. In their research, paleontologists stated that the reason for this decision was that Mark Knopfler's music greatly inspired the expedition team to find the fossil. Finally, the eighth way is to become a relative of a paleontologist who studies dinosaurs. This method is probably for those who have little to do with paleontology or dinosaurs. You just need to master the art of reincarnation to become a relative or close friend of someone who researches dinosaurs. In 1989, the couple Tom Rich and Patricia Vickers-Rich, both working in paleontology, decided to name the dinosaur genus they had just described Lelandsaura after their daughter, Leland Rich. If Leland also loves dinosaurs, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Here are 8 ways your name can become special by being associated with a dinosaur species. Of course, this is not an easy task, but it would be amazing if you could achieve it. If you know of any other ways to have a dinosaur named after you, please comment below. That's all for today's video. We sincerely thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us for the latest updates. For now, goodbye and see you in the next videos.